I just remembered something else that we can talk about.
Oh.
Weird way to start the intro, but okay, let's... Hello and everybody and welcome to, That's Just It Never Ends.
That's just it. Never ends. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. You want to do an actual intro?
Hello and welcome to another episode of It Never Ends. I'm Andrew. Over here is my good buddy Alex. How you doing today?
How are you doing today? Oh, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Oh, man.
Dude, Labyrinth fucking rules. Last night was the first time I watched it in a really long time, and that was cool as fuck.
Nice. So what was the thing that you just thought of, by the way? Out of curiosity.
Oh yeah, we got an official reveal for Marvel Rivals just revealed Deadpool for their game.
Oh.
And funnily enough, so there's obviously tank, DPS, and healer, and he's all three.
Oh, so just a trick of all trades, huh?
You pick Deadpool, and then you decide what class he's going to be for the round. And apparently you can change it up at any point during the match. You can switch around his abilities. There's this photograph mechanic. He looks pretty cool. It's interesting too because I don't think in a hero shooter we've ever had a character like that, either in Overwatch or Marvel Rivals or any other hero shooter.
I feel like that'd be a nightmare to, balance and code and shit.
Oh, it probably will be. Hopes are not high for this next season from what I hear.
Oh boy.
I mean, round of applause for them for trying new things though.
Yeah.
Hey, their last character went pretty well. I really enjoy playing Rogue quite a bit, so I'll keep my hopes high. We'll tackle these problems as they come.
Yeah.
I don't think Marvel Rivals is going anywhere, especially with the stupid amount of money it makes.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon, but it is an interesting case when you open up stuff like that.
Hey, speaking of hero shooters that don't have bright prospects, Highguard or Hero Guard.
Whatever it was.
Is that game
I think it was
Highguard?
Everyone truly remembers that from the Game Awards, right?
Oh yeah, people are very enthused for this.
I don't know,
hero shooter.
Just what a move!
Base infiltration shooter.
I know we said this when we were going over the over the Game Awards stuff, but what a fucking move!
Imagine how much they paid to get that one last thing at the Game Awards.
Jeez. That's
crazy. Only to get this response. It's launching in 2 weeks, and I've seen no hype around it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of forgot about it until you brought it up.
I've seen no, any more gameplay trailers being released.
No.
I figured they would do a thing where they have, little individual trailers going over, what each of the heroes do, or maybe... some
each
things
the classes or something
maps.
like that, need something to get you a little bit more invested into the game potentially.
There's just been nothing.
Ugh.
Wait, what the fuck is this? Sigurput and TMP 2.0 not detect. Oh, fuck. Black Ops 7 required that too. I do not understand why.
What is it?
Secure Boot and TMP 2.0. It's this weird anti-cheat that some games are enforcing for whatever reason.
Is it supposed to be better than the normal anti-cheat, or is it just different?
So TMP 2.0 is something that you have to go into your system's BIOS and enable, which is why I've been so hesitant to actually do it, because I'm not sure how that's going to fuck with my operating system.
Yeah.
It's a hardware-based security chip on a computer's motherboard that stores cryptographic keys and sensitive data to provide features like device encryption and identity protection.
Doesn't seem like something you would want to mess with.
Not really. Um, it comes disabled by default on all new computers. Are there? I just don't like going into my system's BIOS. I'm constantly scared that I'm going to break something. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
I
know
feel
how to
like
fix
I
it.
feel like you and me are pretty much the same way. As like I don't want to go into my BIOS if I have to because I feel like I'm gonna fuck something up. So I'd rather not mess with it if I don't have to. I bet you a lot of people feel the same way.
Allows attackers to steal keys or execute codes. These require firmware updates. Ah, boy. Going back to Highguard, though, it's just I don't know. Like, is there even as like a person that plays hero shooters quite a lot right now, I just see nothing there that would drag me away from like Rivals or Overwatch. Like you've made it clear that you're not interested in this at all. Like, what about it is like the biggest turnoff for you? I guess
Everything. I don't know.
everything.
It's just like what you said. It's like it's not. It's just I played those for I played like the original Overwatch for like I don't know a few days when like the open beta like came or I think I even had like later access to the closed beta if I remember correctly.
Mm.
Um, but it was just like I was like I get it. It's not it's not I think you know what it really comes down to. I think that a lot of my patience for multiplayer games got thrown out when I stopped playing League of Legends. I just instantly got thrown off
Very fair.
from
Yeah.
multiplayer games in general because of League. The instant I quit it, I said, I'm done with that shit. I'm good.
Man, you've seen what I feel like is
I've
both the
seen hell and
best and the
back.
worst of the multiplayer community.
Yeah. It really sucks that like I really do wish that I could go back and play League, but it's just like the fucking shit fest that is the toxicity of that. Nope, I ain't gonna
Is it
touch it
just
with a 10-foot pole.
is it just the toxicity, or is it just like balance and stuff that makes
That
the
and the
game less
gameplay
fun
has
now?
just fundamentally changed from when I played it back then.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot. It's funny. It's funny because I was watching Spoozy. He's a long time YouTube creator when it comes to League and stuff like that. He plays a lot of TFT nowadays, and he does his like yearly go back to League stream because he made content off of League for 6-7 years before he just
Yeah.
flat out quit the game. And so he always just goes back like one day a year just to go like, oh, it's the annual League stream type thing, and he just fucks around with his friends or whatever.
Does he have fun at least?
Yeah, he is fun, but
Okay.
he's just like, yeah, the game's just different. Like everyone is just like, I don't know, it's hard to describe really, but it's like he basically just summed it up as everyone does flips and shit, and it ends up not being good because it's just like,
Fair enough.
man,
I'm watching the trailer for Highguard again, and it's just I don't know what I'm looking at. It's like all these pre-recorded clips where they try to make the game look cool. I still have no idea how this is supposed to play.
yeah. That's the thing. Again, it's just like you see the one trailer and it's just like, okay, if
Problem
anyone
is that
is
they format it.
interested, you haven't given them any reason to continue to be interested in it, I guess.
The problem is that they format it. I just want to say, like, this game could be amazing.
Good.
The trailer is just horrible. They format it like like it's a COD trailer. It's like, oh yeah, you already know how this goes, so we're just gonna show you some cool looking clips of like all the maps and the weapons. And it's like, well, no, I have no idea what any of these people are doing. Like, there's this a scene where a guy is like doing this epic stab into an orb or whatever, and it's like, well, what is
What does
that?
that
What is
mean?
he doing there? he's got this sword and he put it in a wall and now this tank thing has showed up.
It just feels like
Exactly.
it
Like,
feels like that they didn't really have a good idea of how they should market this at all. Or like
well,
how should we show off the game really?
well, you can show it off at the Game Awards. First off, don't make it the one
Well, I
last
mean
thing. You're
beyond just that though. Like my point is
Yeah,
like had this been in the middle of the show type thing, I don't think it would it would have got nearly as much shit as it did type thing.
mm,
As well as it's just like, okay, we saw generally what it looks like, but now give us more context with the game coming out relatively soon, and we haven't seen that.
exactly. Put out a trailer where you guys
Or just
talk
put out
about
like
like
a gameplay, like, oh, here's people actually playing the game with like them describing what's happening.
exactly. Do that to show people like what happens in a match, what goes on, how the game is played. And if people are into it, they'll give you that feedback. They'll say, "Oh,
Yeah.
this actually looks really cool."
Give us an idea of
Having
what a game of Highguard would look like.
exactly. But to have a trailer like this, where it's just so high action with no context, and to make it the one last thing at one of the biggest game events of the year, I feel like they kind of set themselves up for failure.
Yeah. Yeah. It just reminds me back to like when we first got our first like actual look at like For Honor when it was coming out or whatever. It was like everyone was expecting it to be, chivalry-esque basically, where it was just like, oh, you spawn in with like 100+ people, you're all fighting on a battlefield type thing, and then you
Oh
whatever
yeah,
type thing. That was not what it was at all. It was not. It was 4v4 like zone captures or whatever, and everyone was just like, what? This isn't the game I thought it was or whatever type thing.
did I think I heard a rumor at some point that that's originally what the game was supposed to be.
I
Was
mean, I
this like
believe
big
it,
battlefield
considering the
thing?
early concepts and everything of it, were looked like that.
But like Ubisoft was just like, holy fuck, how do we make that work? So
Yeah,
they just kind of scaled things back a lot.
yeah, and then they
So
basically made it into like a fighting game. I mean,
so
in
typical
essence, that's what it
Ubisoft.
is. It's a dueling fighting game.
I heard it's pretty good. Like it still has a pretty active community.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason it still keeps getting updates. It's not like it's the biggest game of the world, but it's like it's found a community and it sticks with it.
Awesome. You, Ubisoft, you did two things right. You released Siege and then you released For Honor. Then you completely fucked up Siege and you pissed off all your player base. So now you have to start working on a new one.
Well, I could also argue you pissed off a lot of people with For Honor too because of like the early glitches and not having peer-to-peer server. It was peer-to-peer servers instead of dedicated servers.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I remember playing that, and it's just like the person that was hosting the game would drop, and then everything freezes for like 3 minutes because it's migrating hosts. They had a whole celebration 2 years after the release of the game that we got dedicated servers, guys. Come on and play. Here's like 48 hours of or like a weekend of free like status, like what is it? I don't remember what it's called, warrior status or something like that, where you get like more steel per match or whatever and better rewards and stuff like that. And it was like, cool. The game doesn't play like ass. Oh, also, did you fix the flicker glitch? Oh wait, no, it's you didn't fix that. So it's like the what was it? The Peacekeeper was still the most broken class in the game because of how her area attack worked. Made like the little like 3-pronged like little symbols where it tells you where the attack's coming. It was like it would flicker to one side and to the other because the game decided, oh, the attack's coming from the left, but it's actually coming from the right, so it just throws you off. Just some weird glitch that it took just forever to fix. It made fighting Peacekeeper hard.
Oh dear.
Extremely hard. So yeah,
Peacekeeper is
she was like the
which one is
knight's like
Peacekeeper?
dagger, like there was a long sword and dagger lady or whatever.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Is there anything the Highguard can do at this point in order to get people interested again?
Well, they definitely need
Or
to
are
start
they
showing
just
off some stuff for when it comes to the game. if they really want people to be invested into it. Either that or just saying like, hey, we heard your your feedback from the game awards or whatever. Let's just redo the game, or better yet, maybe let's just not do it. But you probably have so much invested into it, you can't do that.
Oh yeah, they're like deep into it now.
Yeah.
What is so crazy to me is, don't you think a game like this would have had like an open or a closed beta by now?
Yeah, that's also another thing as well. It's like, is this isn't a free to play game? Do we know if it's like you have to pay for it, or is it free to play or whatever? Have they stated that at all?
That's a good question. I would imagine it's free to play.
I mean, I feel like it. I feel like if you're a hero shooter, even like $20 for access to the game or whatever type thing, it just feels like no one's gonna pay for that, even if they know they're not gonna like it, or they're gonna try. It is
free to play.
Okay, I assumed it was free to play, but yeah, it still feels like you probably need an open beta like sooner rather than later.
At least will allow some people, like streamers or somebody, to get get their hands on it. Like get some like of the big like shooter guys. Like I don't know, fucking.
Maybe see if you can get some of the bigger Marvel rival players or whatever to like just play the game for a day.
Exactly, get like Flats or someone on there, just try the game like at least a few days before launch. It's kind of late now. Since it's launching in 2 weeks.
It really makes me wonder if it's actually going to come out on the day it says.
If they announce like a delay tomorrow, I swear to God, we always have the worst lucks with.
We do have the worst timing when it comes to this.
Well, stop declaring free-to-play games dead before they launch. Well, nobody's interested in Highguard. People are claiming it's dead because nobody wants to play it.
Well, it's just like, what does it do?
No hype around it at all.
What does it do differently than other, hero shooters do or whatever? And it's like,
I'm sure it does something differently. They haven't shown that.
Yes,
yet.
But they haven't shown it to
harping
us.
On this. They've been harping on about all this time. It's like, well, okay, well, if you're unique, if you have something different that you're doing, then show people that are going to be your player base why they should switch over to Highguard.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think this is going to bring over like the Titanfall, like Apex Legends people at all.
No.
As someone that loved Titanfall, I think this looks stupid. God damn. Fucking Respawn dropping the ball so hard, so consistently over these years.
Well, and also, this is an independent company, isn't it? This isn't Respawn. This is just people that worked on Titanfall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a new company formed by people that worked on Titanfall. Wildlight.
God,
this is their first game.
What a move for your first game. I don't know, man. It's like, I get you wanted to make a game, I don't know, the multiplayer game, I guess, but it's like, you should know how hard it is to break into that space, man.
It's a rough market.
It's tough.
I'm willing to bet what happened is that they got a bunch of investors into this because it's like, oh, we made like Titanfall and Apex Legends, give us a bunch of money. And now they just have everything riding on this one game, kind of like what happened to Concord. Man. So it's like either this does amazingly and is actually really popular right out of the gate, or they are like uber fucked. Dude, I can easily see if this thing like doesn't hit it off, it's shutting down within the year.
Yeah, I mean it might shut down as fast as Concord did.
I don't think anything is going to shut down as fast as Concord. Concord, lasted less than a month? I think they let the game.
I think it was like 3 weeks, wasn't it?
I think it was only like 2 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks or something like that.
By the way, R.I.P. Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem's officially dead.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, great day for multiplayer games, right?
Yeah. Man, I was gonna try out Anthem before it got shut down, but oh well. I'm
Do
not gonna
we needed to do we
cry
needed to
over it.
do the idea that I came up with, where it was like we needed to be the Halo 3 people that just stayed on the server until it finally kicked them out for as long as possible.
It would have kicked us out immediately. No
Damn
one would
it.
have given a shit. That's why I don't think either of us wanted to play
No,
Anthem. Is the
absolutely not. But it
problem.
would have been hilarious to do it.
Yeah. Video game Concord lasted only 2 weeks, launching on August 23rd, 2024, and being shut down on September 6th.
Jesus.
With all due to poor player reception, with all sales refunded, and the developer studio Firewalk Studios subsequently closed. I wonder how much of a physical copy of Concord costs nowadays.
Better be like the collector's edition, or like, oh yeah, this was the shittiest game that Sony ever made. They're going down in the gaming hall of fame for just like, man, what were they
Exactly.
thinking?
$100? Oh no, wait here, 15.
Better buy it for the history books, people.
Exactly.
On this day, we watched the shittiest game get released, and 2 weeks later, we watched it die.
Honestly, something interesting that I found out recently. How much does so? You remember the game Battleborn, that FPS like
Yeah, I
League of
remember.
Legends ripoff that Gearbox made?
Well, it was like
I,
it was like releasing around. Well, they didn't Overwatch moved it up so that way they would be in front of Battleborn, didn't they?
no, Battleborn came out first, but it came out like the same week that Overwatch came out.
Yeah, but I just remember, wasn't it that they moved up so that way it would launch closer to that date, basically?
I think so.
I believe that was the case.
Yeah, Gearbox got completely fucked.
Yeah, a little bit.
But so there is like a small dedicated PC community for that game that keeps servers still up so people can still
Really?
play. It's something I actually was interested in. I'm been looking to get like a second party key. I think like a PC key to Battleborn is really expensive though.
Really?
There's one for $71 and one for $98 for PC key for Battleborn.
Huh. All right.
What on G2A?
That's pretty crazy to me to think that there were still like people that are still interested in Battleborn and are like keeping it alive. It's actually kind of insane to me.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, the cheapest one is like almost $100.
God damn.
That's crazy.
Do you ever think that there was going to be
I
like
mean,
a multiplayer game that will like dethrone Fortnite? Like we're going to see that in the next 10 years, basically.
yes.
I'd have to.
I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be Highguard. I feel like. I don't know. I feel like Fortnite is really popular right now. I feel like there is going to be. If Fortnite like doesn't change its gameplay like drastically, I feel like it is going to hit a wall where people are going to just stop being interested.
That's fair.
I could honestly see like in the next 10 years if Rivals is still going, I think that it might overtake it. That or something else. I'm not sure. But yeah, I do think the Fortnite bubble is going to pop at some point. What about you?
Do you think it will pop when like some of the kids that like grow up with it, basically, like grow up past it, like outgrow it, basically?
The problem is I think a lot of those people are already there.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But I also feel like there's still some young kids that will still like log on to it and play it pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And of all the games we could have talked about, I was like, Battleborn was not on my bingo board. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's interesting though.
It is interesting.
It's interesting though.
It is interesting.
Yeah,
I oftentimes think of myself like, what would have happened to Gearbox had like Battleborn actually done well. That'd also be very interesting. I wonder if they would ever like, because that was between Borderlands like 2 and 3, so it's like I wonder if they ever would have really made Borderlands 3. I feel like they probably would have,
They definitely would have. They would have kept making Borderlands games, obviously.
but I'd be very curious to know if they would have got like more funding and more support from Embracer when it came down to it.
They definitely would have. Like, what honestly, what I think would have happened is they probably would have done what Overwatch did. Honestly, I think they would have switched to a free to play model and made like a mock sequel. I'm not sure what they would have promised with that because Battleborn actually had a campaign.
That's true.
Maybe they would have made a better campaign. I think it
Maybe.
would have at least gotten a sequel.
Yeah. Or maybe would have inevitably just fallen off to Overwatch still. Who knows?
Honestly, what also could have happened is so Battleborn actually wasn't trying to compete with Overwatch pretty much
I
because
mean, it was trying to be the first in the scene, really.
it kind of, but the game played a lot more like it did, like a game of League of Legends than it did.
That's true. It did.
Than it did Overwatch, like a first-person League of Legends. I think that's the idea that the game was developed around. So if they made a sequel to Battleborn, I think it would have made it more of a like, Overwatchy hero shooter kind of game. If the game actually did well.
Oh, I was curious because you brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, it was playing a lot like League of Legends. Did you ever play? It was it was well back in the day at this point, but did you ever play the game Paragon? It was like before Epic Games.
That's right.
Had like their own store. They were making a multiplayer. They were making a multiplayer MOBA game called Paragon.
I've heard of this game.
I played a little bit of it.
I think we've talked about it before.
I believe
I think I've played a few matches of it, but I just wasn't really into it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It looked quite cool.
I was a fan of a streamer that was basically like invited to be a partner of the game, pretty much, and just be like one of the main spokespeople of the game. And it was just like, I played it a lot because I was like, oh, he liked it or whatever type thing, and so I played. He would like open up games, just like, oh yeah, come play with us or whatever, and just check out the game. And so I remember doing that a lot, and I was like, oh, it's just fine. It just died pretty early on.
Just not a lot of people played it.
Yeah, didn't have the player base that it wanted. It was also really before like Epic Games really had like, I don't know, the financial stability that they have now. It'd be interesting had they waited like 5 years and then came out with that game. Would the results have been the same? I honestly don't know.
Here's an interesting question for you. Do you think if Gearbox decided, if Epic decided to make another Paragon, or Gearbox decided to make another Battleborn, do you think there's a reality where they could make it successful? Putting it up against titans like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, do you think they could do better on their second time around? God damn it, Squirrel Girl.
I mean, I feel like they could do better. But
do you think they would be doing better than Highguard is right now?
I'd have to believe so. I don't know. It's just like, to me, it's like, it feels like this is a bunch of devs that like they made this game and they're really proud of it, type thing. And I'm sure they're really liking what they have.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like they don't really know how to advertise it and stuff like that. They don't know how to, accurately like get the information out to the gamers to understand the game and anything like that. I don't know. That's just generally what it feels like to me. It feels like they were like, okay, we made the game. We don't really have money for marketing, so how do we do that? So we have to figure that out ourselves.
Well, you know what the problem also could be is this isn't being released by like a big AAA company. It's being self-published.
That's what I mean. It's like they're trying to do the marketing themselves.
It could also be like a big like inexperienced type thing. It's like maybe they want to market it, but they just don't know how to approach that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're absolutely right.
Just don't have any experience with something like that. They probably hired somebody really expensive to put together a trailer for the Game Awards. They paid a fuck ton of money thinking that was going to be all the marketing they would need, and now they're just kind of in this rough position because that probably cost like to get that spot at the Game Awards, they probably paid
It
like
must have been a pretty
millions
penny.
and millions of dollars.
Yeah. It must have been a good penny. It must have been a pretty penny, I'll tell you that much. So it's like
Money
I
probably
fully
would.
agree. I think it's just it might be like just it might be the case. This might not be the case, but it feels like it's the case of wanting to do the marketing themselves rather than doing it third party or hiring people to do marketing or anything like that, and then not really knowing what to do and everything like that. And they're like, oh yeah, we know how to play the game, but we have to teach other people how to play the game. We have to help them understand how the game works, the stages, how to play, what a typical game looks like, and everything like that, like what you can expect, that type of thing. And it's just like maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know. Whereas, like, and so in the case of like, you see here looking at like, oh, Paragon, like if like, oh, Paragon all of a sudden came back and Epic Games is just like, we're gonna put a lot more money, a lot more effort, a lot more design into it, as well as we're gonna put a lot more marketing behind it as well.
Mm-hmm.
They would, because they would, they would have the money to do so and the marketing team to do so as well. And I would say the same thing as well for Gearbox if they ever decided to do that as well. I feel like they would know how to do that as well, considering the way they do like Borderlands games, especially. It's just like how they continually just put out like trailers for the new stuff or whatever. I was like, I know, what was it recently I saw there was like a planned live stream for the new Vault Hunter cache at some point. So it's like they're gonna just show him off and how he works.
I'm excited for Gearbox right now. They did really well with Borderlands 4. It looks like.
Yeah, I
So
would say that Borderlands 4 is. I mean, when the game first came out, people were calling this the best game since Borderlands 2. Like, and a lot of people were debating whether or not they liked this game more than 2. Me personally, I think 2 is still probably better. If it's like gameplay wise, it is 4. I think that there's more fun things you can do in 4, the style variety or whatever in it. But when you're talking about the world in and of itself, the characters, and just like the overall story, I'm sorry, 2 is just unrivaled at that point.
yeah,
It's like 4 had such an interesting concept with the Timekeeper. Too bad you didn't fucking talk to him for 90% of the goddamn campaign. He didn't just pop in, do witty remarks or whatever type thing, or be big or menacing and stuff like that. The idea was that his arbiters would do that for him, basically, and stuff like that. So you got like Idolater Soul, Vile Lictor, and the Ripper Queen, and stuff like that. And it's like, I would have liked to see the Timekeeper a bit more, And so when you go fight him at the end of the game,
yeah.
it just kind of feels like there was so much more you could have done with this character. And maybe they're doing stuff with DLC for it. I don't know. But it's like, for the game itself, And the fact is that, like, you can start a level 30 character and skip right through the campaign. And you don't have to do like it in Borderlands 2. Everyone just didn't mind playing through the story of Borderlands 2 because it was fun. It was interesting, and it had some funny moments as well. So, It's my 2 cents about it. I think still by far better than Borderlands 3. And not that 3 was bad. It's just
not as good.
It's just like, as well. I think the thing that really puts me over the top of why 4 is so much fun is because of just the randomization of gun parts. Because it's like you could theoretically stumble upon the most broken thing ever and stuff like that. It's like getting a Jacobs part on like a Maliwan thing with like a Vladoff pistol or submachine gun. It's just like that thing just rips and stuff like that. It's like it's just like there's just so much variation within the guns that it's just like you're just like, oh, I might have just found something completely way better, and I didn't realize it at the time. Might even be better than the legendaries.
I mean, I want to hear your 2 cents on this. I heard the biggest problem that people had with Borderlands 3 is that the story sucked. The game just wasn't very interesting. Like, especially compared when they're it was really bad. It's good for Borderlands 4 because it had to, follow up Borderlands 3, whereas Borderlands 3 had to be the follow up to Borderlands 2.
too.
And Borderlands 2 had Handsome Jack,
Yeah, I
and
think that's the
Borderlands
thing
3
that
had
will always hamper
live
that.
streamers. Yeah.
It's funny because there was even like a side quest in Borderlands 4 with Claptrap where you're like gathering up like an old Psycho mask and like a couple other things from past games or whatever type thing, his little mementos or whatever, and he has like a Viking funeral and stuff like that. It's like sometimes you just gotta let the past be the past and move forward, man. And then he does the Claptrap thing and he goes Viking funeral. So it's just like the fact is that in the game they had a side quest to literally say, let the past be the past. We remember the good times, but let's move forward. That was literally what they said in the side quest, and it was hilarious.
Damn, dude.
I thought that was incredibly funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, but I don't know. Borderlands 3 was, the villains were a little lackluster. Tyrene and what the hell was his name? I forget the dude's name. But it was like it was cool. I think that like their whole thing at the end where it's like you find Typhon de Leon or whatever on Elpis is kind of cool. Because there's like, oh, Elpis doesn't exist or whatever, and it's like, well, that's where the Iridians originated from or whatever. The thing is, oftentimes I feel like it's just like there's always like two major things. It's that the Calypso twins are not interesting, and Ava was the most annoying piece of shit. And also, she had to die for Maya's sins.
Was Ava the new siren?
Ava was the girl that like Maya ends up dying, and then she gets Maya's powers from. Stuff like that. She's like the young one that talks like a young girl or whatever. So a lot of people that play the games are like don't like the lingo or something. I don't know. Whatever. She was fine.
She tried to be new Tiny Tina, effectively.
Kind of. I don't know. It's. Do you know how it's like whenever you're like, a lot of people talk about like, some people don't like One Piece at the start because Luffy is like loud and obnoxious and annoying and stuff like that. Or like you ever hear like those animes like Naruto's in it, I think is another good example of that. Or like Black Clover with Asta and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I can't stand it because he's just so loud and obnoxious and annoying and stupid and stuff like that. And I'm like, but then like, then you see where they go at the end and you go like, oh, they're badasses and everything like that. Like they've grown powerful and strong and everything like that. And it's like, I feel like a lot of people just looked at Ava and just said, you're just annoying. I don't like you. And then just moved on. And then Gearbox just did the thing where they're like, oh yeah, you didn't like Ava, so we're going to give you what you want. And instead of having Ava in Borderlands 4, we're going to have Amara. And I go, kind of don't like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, all the reports I keep reading is that Amara got put in Ava was supposed to be in Borderlands 4. She was supposed to be the Siren in Borderlands 4 that you'd see. Mm-hmm. It got replaced with the Siren from 3, Amara. And that was because Borderlands, Gearbox developers confirmed that it was because people didn't like Ava that much. And I go, come on now.
Well, there's always the possibility that they could bring her back in like a DLC,
I hope they do.
A DLC character.
I hope they do. I think it would have been more impactful to have her and more character growth to have her in the main story, though. I really do.
Oh no, it definitely would have been. You just know, like, the wrong sector of the internet would immediately catch wind, like, oh, this character that we all thought was so annoying in Borderlands 3 is coming back for 4. Like, what is Gearbox thinking? Like, all these and have a bunch of like clickbait YouTube videos like is Borderlands 3 destined to fail question mark or Borderlands 4 sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You know,
get that.
stuff like that. You know how the internet
I know.
works.
And you're right. And it
It's
sucks.
just
It sucks to know
disappointing.
you're right. But it's like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I do hope they give her some DLC. Considering it seems like they're adding with like each bigger DLC, they're adding some of like the older characters to Kairos because it's like Ellie is going to be in the first major DLC for Borderlands 4. So I'm just like that'll be interesting. Because
Yeah.
the whole concept of Borderlands 4 is actually based off a comic that Gearbox put out, I think, a few months before Borderlands 4, I think, was revealed, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I think Gearbox is sitting pretty good with Borderlands 4, though. As much as like I think they are falling a little short with this like end game stuff or whatever. I think that once the game gets like probably another year into the game, we'll have more end game stuff to do. And I think it'll be looked at. Everyone will like want to grind it because it's like we got an invincible boss not that long ago. It's fine or whatever. It's just like it's at least something in game to grind, and you can get legendary enhancements from it, which were incredibly hard to get prior to this. So that's nice that we can actually have a place to farm enhancements now.
Okay. That's interesting.
Because enhancements were world drops before, so anything you could kill in the world would have the potentiality to drop a legendary, and that legendary could be anything in the game realistically, but there would be a small chance it would drop an enhancement. So, and enhancements are good, but the thing is, you want to look for a specific one or a specific type with like, and there's a lot of variations it can roll in. So the chances that you got something you wanted were extremely low.
It's like a less than a 1% drop rate, stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So it's like, oh, now there's a place to actually farm it or whatever. So it's like, oh, all right. Now it's gone to like a 30% chance or something like that, which is the base legendary, like for most places or whatever. It was funny over like the Christmas break, they actually upped the legendary drop rate for basically everything. And they were just like, we're going to take some feedback and how you guys feel about this or whatever type thing. Because they were like, there was a lot of people who was like, oh yeah, I've been farming this boss for 3 hours, haven't gotten a single legendary. It's supposed to be 30%, doesn't feel like it type thing or whatever. So I think they were trying to see how people would feel like if it was 5 times that. So if it's only like, I think it's like 15% chance or whatever, then it would go 45 or whatever that math is.
That's pretty good.
So it's just like, I don't know. See how that. Then they confirmed that, okay, after taking some feedback, we'll consider it and we'll let you know when we know. And as far as I know, they're sticking with the normal drop rates at the moment. I personally don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the drop rates, but when you're looking for that, god roll on a specific gun or something like that, it could feel like forever. So I get it.
Talk quick about the Steam machine.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get
apparently
to.
getting leaked. Yeah.
Yeah, we apparently had take this with a grain of salt for however you want to do it because it's not confirmed. This is only a leak. But that the price of the Steam machine for, was it the 512 gigabyte one is $950, and for the 2 terabyte one it's like $1,070.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we feel about that? Because I feel like when this was first announced, I was like, it's only going to be as good as I feel like until we hear the price. And I'm like, $1,000 I guess would be a good start for like a PC or whatever. If you're wanting to get into PC gaming, this would be like a good spot to start.
That depends. How good is do we know the specs of the Steam machine yet?
I thought we did, but I don't honestly remember.
They did mention that it's going to be upgradable.
I did.
Here we go. Specs of Steam Machine. Semi-custom AMD Zen 4 6-core CPU. 16 gigs of DDR5. Fast storage. Does not say what the GPU is. Oh. Semi-custom AMD RDNA 3. That's bizarre. I don't know
Yeah,
how I feel about that.
this it comes down to again of like
So it would be a bit less powerful than the base PS5, is what people are saying.
yeah, yeah. That's what I heard too. And they go, I don't know.
I don't know either. I think for like, a starter PC. Oh, sorry, is my video still up?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I accidentally closed Discord by accident. For a starter PC, that's decent, I think. For $1,000 is what I'm guessing people are going to want to go for.
I mean, I
The
have to
big
believe.
for a terabyte, yeah. I don't know. It's like we said though, if they're trying to go for the console market, I guess it would have to depend on like how what the next Xbox and the next Xbox is probably going to be comparable in price to this. I'm guessing
I'd have to believe so.
the PS6. I don't know.
Maybe a little
We
bit
were
more than the
discussing.
PS Pro.
I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere between 750 and 850. It could go up to like $900 though.
Yeah.
There is a universe right now where the possibility where a PS6 could start at like $1,000, and I think we're very much getting to the point, like we were discussing, like how much is too much for a gaming console? Do you think, in your opinion?
I'd argue we're already there, to be honest with you.
I am too.
It's just like, and it's like even taking the RAM market and everything like that, the
Hmm.
shit that is going on with that type thing. You take that even out of account or whatever of all this, and it's just like, I man, I wouldn't pay more than, I don't know, $600 for a console, and that would be me like knowing I'm going to use it type thing.
Yeah, like it's something that you'd be using like consistently.
Yeah, and it's like something I'd want to use consistently. Like if I bought the Steam machine, I would basically just say like I would get rid of this computer and just use that, which I wouldn't do. Like for
No,
anyone
absolutely not.
for anyone that's in PC gaming, I don't see there's really a necessity unless you want to have it as a console pretty much.
That's the thing. So a lot of people are like, oh, you can connect it to your TV. Just connect your PC to your TV.
Yeah.
It's like the fuck. We don't need that for that. What this has been from the beginning, I think, is it has been like it's been being targeted as like a console owner's like introduction to the PC market.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't even know if it's going to come with a controller. For $1,000, it better come with a
I
fucking
hope so.
controller. Let me tell you that much. And you get access to things like Steam sales.
I mean, you
You
get the
can
whole
actually
Steam library in store and everything like that, so
you get multiple storefronts. If you're already a PC gamer, then hey, you can just bring your whole library over. Don't need to buy any games for it.
yeah. That's why it's like for if you're a
Mm,
PC gamer, I feel like this would be like if you'd want it to have like a console, like you could just go sit on your couch and play it there like you would any console player would. And if you're a console
I,
player, I guess this is your introduction to PCs and stuff like that, but I don't know. It just
I don't know if for even for like a PC gamers like wanting a console, I feel like getting this would still feel pretty redundant.
yeah,
And that's when it's like,
exactly. It's like why would I want to pay for the same games that I already have? It's like I'd much rather buy a Switch 2 or a PlayStation 5 or the
Mhm.
Xbox
I
so I
mean,
could play
honestly,
those games.
something that I've been thinking about doing. It's like, well, if I want to play, my PC games on my television, I'll just get like a longer HDMI cable, just route it out there. I don't
Yeah.
feel the need to That's what I'm honestly thinking of doing with the next generation. Just get like a beefy PC and just play games that way.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just yeah,
I
but
I'm just like, if they came out with a PS6 next year, I really don't think I get it. Not for
me
a
neither.
long while.
With everything that's I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but even when it comes to like general consumers, if PlayStation, if Sony starts the PS6 at like $850, do you think that's going to do like even a fraction as well as the PlayStation 5 did?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
First off, it's going to get scalped to eternity, obviously. What I'm wondering is that are the scalpers going to get fucked over?
Yeah,
Which if they
that's
do,
another concern.
that would be beautiful. That would make my day. That would make my life. Dude, there are so many videos now of scalpers overbuying Pokemon sets since they're becoming more readily available now.
Yeah,
The guys are like, I'm fucked. I have like 1,000 fucking Lego sets or 1,000, Pokemon things, and I can't give the damn things away. I'm losing so much money.
I've seen that as well with like the Spider-Man set.
It warms my heart. It makes me so happy. But
Yeah,
getting back to that, I, I don't know. I very much see myself in a position where a lot of people are just like, fuck that. I don't want to pay $800 for a PlayStation. I don't give a
yeah.
shit how much use I get out of it. That's bullshit. It's more than what some people pay for their televisions to play the video games on.
Well, and it's funny because it's just like when the PS5 came out, everyone was
Mhm.
just like, "Oh, you don't need to update, you don't need to upgrade right now because like one, there's just not games out for it," and it was like, you know, and it was COVID time, so it was hard to get a PS5 also too, just
Yeah.
because supply chain BS and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and it's like, and so it's just like if something like that would happen again, and not that like the PS6 would be have a scarcity or something like that, or maybe it would because of the how hard it is to get RAM and stuff like that.
I hear that's what's going on right now. That's why it's been delayed a year.
Yep, and it's just like, and that's why, yeah. So it's just like you're hoping that the market would stabilize or level out again. I don't know, but let's not even take that into that account. Let's pretend the market is normal. Let's pretend that
Mm.
everything is just hunky dory and stuff like that, and the PS6 would still be like 800, 900, $1,000, whatever. I just don't think I'd ever buy that, like ever.
Here's the thing. I don't think a lot of people would buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people thought like there was arguments about whether or not the Switch 2 cost too much.
Yeah.
And that was only like 450 with the prices of the latest Xbox and the PlayStation being like $750. I've been hearing a lot of people being just like forget it. I don't want to pay that much for something like this. Even people that are like tech savvy are just like, well, I don't want to spend like $700-800 on a PS5 Pro. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, nobody wants to drop like a down payment on a fucking car or house or something like that to buy a gaming console.
And with that, if that was the case with like the next PlayStation 6, I can easily see a lot of people being like, whatever, God, I would say just, build a PC at that point. But like with the way the PC prices are going, even,
Yeah, with the way the market's going there.
I'll play Candy Crush instead. I'll just buy a PS5.
Realistically, this is the best time to go back and go like get an old console and just play the games from that time. Like legitimately get a PS4, play all
Mhm.
like those PS4 like games that made it great. Like play, Last of Us or Last of Us Part 2 or something like that. Play Persona 5 Royal, play I don't know, fucking anything, Spider-Man.
The PS4 library is fucking huge, and they kept
Phenomenal.
it going through like half the PS5 generation. It was
Exactly.
crazy. I wonder, like, how much do you think a used PS4 Pro goes for right now?
That's a great question.
I say the Pro because the base PS4 model was just so fucking loud. I had to upgrade because it became such a nuisance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see.
I mean, I see listings as low as 130 on eBay.
That's crazy.
But it's generally around like $200.
Yeah. Go back and buy a PS4 Pro. Honestly, I think that's going to become a thing pretty recently. Do you hear what people have been doing with the fucking 3DS?
No.
There has been a surge in people buying like old 3DS consoles to basically just hack them and get put a bunch of like ROMs and like free games on them,
Hell yeah.
which is a little sketchy. It's whatever. People want to buy these old consoles, play video games again, because modern gaming is just so expensive.
And
I get that.
when generally a lot of companies are just like, you will own nothing and you will like it, then they go, fine, then we won't pay you for all the shit.
Exactly.
If we don't get to own it, then why should we pay you for it?
That is legit the way it needs to be. Like, yeah. Here's one terabyte model, $140.
Yeah.
Fuck buying a $750 PS5. Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's like, so I could buy this like almost $800 console. I think this PS5 Pro doesn't even come with a disc drive, which is,
It does not. You have to buy that separately.
so you're looking at over $800 with no games, or I can get this modded 3DS XL for $200, and this guy says it has every Pokemon game ever made released on it.
It's like
Freaking crazy, dude.
It's like my brother was talking about, because he recently saw that Nintendo put a Fire Emblem game on their GameCube ROM.
Yeah.
And he was thinking about playing it or whatever, and he was just like, my cousin was just like, oh, I started a family plan for myself, my dad, and his sister, and he was like, oh, well, I have an extra spot, I could add you, type thing. So he just added my brother to the family plan, and but he realized that he needed to go like the bigger package if he wanted to get the GameCube games.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, I thought about it, but it's like, man, it's like double the price for it. And I'm just like, I mean, you do it if you want to, because I know you'll play it, but it doesn't sound like he wants to. But it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just like, sometimes I just think to myself, I'm just like, maybe Nintendo got ahead of this, where they're like, oh, fuck new games. Let's just go back to the old games and then charge more, type thing. But then they'll just like,
Thing is, you have any idea how easy it is to get GameCube ROMs still?
Yeah, exactly. It's like I even told him, I was just like, I could install a GameCube ROM on your computer and it would be as simple as that to play.
Even I own a GameCube, but even on this computer I still have for legal purposes, I'm gonna say I theoretically have Dolphin on this computer. And I
definitely don't have it, but I actually do, but don't.
I definitely don't have it, but if I did download a bunch of ROMs for games like Wind Waker, Double Dash, Smash Brothers, I would totally, just do that. But I wouldn't do that. I would obviously, pay Nintendo for it and buy the new Switch 2 and the expensive new online package, because that's really the only way to play these games, Yeah, you can't be doing things that Nintendo doesn't want you to do. They'll brick your Switch if you do that.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid, by the way. I hate that so much. It's like, do what we say, or or the console you paid for, you don't get to use anymore.
Exactly.
God, we really are getting to that fucking point where, you just don't own anything.
You don't own anything, and you will like it.
Where a company can just shut off the thing you paid almost $500 for. Absurd. Completely absurd.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't care what piece of hardware I'm buying. If I'm paying you $500 for something, it better work, and it better work fucking forever.
And you shouldn't be able to shut it
And
off if you don't like what we're doing on it, type thing or whatever.
hands down, no questions asked. It's my thing. I bought it, and I will do whatever the fuck I feel like with it.
Exactly. I don't know. That was always a thing with like the games, with the games or whatever. It's like the fact is Nintendo is like, oh, you don't actually have a physical copy of the game. It's just a key on those little cards now. It's like it's not the actual game, and you go,
But
why
they still
even
cost
bother
like
making them?
$10 more.
Why even bother making them then? Like legitimately.
Because they're like, well, people want to like display them on their shelves and
Yeah,
stuff.
if the game was actually with it too, we would actually give a shit.
And they're charging what, like $10 more to get the physical edition.
It's almost like they like, oh yeah, we'll still make it, but we want you to do the digital version instead. And for all you fuckers who want the physical copy, yes, I call you fuckers because you're fucking suckers. You will pay more and you will like it.
You will get less. Exactly.
And they're just like, yes, Daddy Nintendo, here you go. Here's your extra $10.
Stupid Nintendo nerds piss me off so much. They're like the equivalent of Disney adults, dude. I hate it.
Oh yeah,
Disney adults are worse.
yeah, that's true.
Nintendo fan children aren't much better though.
It's true. Yeah, it's a time. So it's just like, I don't know. I really do think that when it comes to modern gaming, though, it's like I could see more people going as like, well, the PS4 has a pretty good lineup of games too. I could just play that or something like that, or like, you know, maybe once prices level off for, you know, RAM and everything like that, or whatever, if that ever happens. I'd have to believe it will at some point, but you never fucking know with today's day. But it's like maybe then it'd be cheaper to go back to making a PC or something like that, but
I do feel like at some point the AI bubble is going to burst and, you know, prices will eventually level out again.
I'd have to believe so.
That's me being optimistic. I'm thinking within the next
Well, I also
decade
just think that's
going to
realistic.
happen at
There's
some
just
point.
no way you can just continually make it over and over and over and over. It's just the only worry that I come down to is that these companies will continue just to sell these things to these AI centers or whatever, and then they just never make them for the consumer again.
Well, they're going to have... So, like everything else, these AI data centers, they're going to want, like, the latest shit to make their AI, you know, the best that it can possibly be. So, I'm guessing, like, when eventually, like, the 60 series come out, they're going to be left with all these 50 series cards that just have nowhere to go. They're going to be thrown into a landfill, basically. At that point, I think the prices are going to come down.
And then some scalper will go get them from the landfill and sell them for an absorbent price.
Who gives a shit? The prices will come down at some point.
They will.
Yeah.
It's just like how long? Yeah, who knows?
I mean, even with like the scalpers, it's like, well, yeah, I bought this thing for like $1,000 and I'm going to sell it for 5,000. Doesn't make any sense when no one's going to buy it for that.
Yeah. If people aren't buying them now, they're not gonna buy them then.
Yeah, if people are not gonna paying these absurd prices now, they're not gonna buy them when they're buying them from like a scalper. It's like one way or another, the prices are going to come down, and I think Nvidia is really shitting at themselves right now because they're
losing a lot of face when it comes to gamers as well, and just like, well, we're getting a lot of profits now. Yeah, until you won't be, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're sorry, PC gamers, we'll start making RAM for you now. And I'm like, oh, too fucking bad. You left such a sour taste in our mouth. We don't give a fuck anymore.
Honestly, I heard there's a rumor going around right now that Asus is going to start developing its own like RAM and graphics cards that they plan on selling specifically to gamers. I think they said they're not going to sell to AI data centers at all.
Yeah, I remember.
And right now, if Intel wants to do something, like they made their own GPUs, which I heard suck, but this is really the best time where consumer like trust and favorability is an all-time low with a lot of these GPU companies to just be like, hey, here's a cool little thing that works just as
We'll
well.
swoop in and help you guys out,
Exactly. I feel like Nvidia could really be fucking themselves over right now.
Oh, they could be doing a
Look,
lot to themselves right now, and we don't, we won't even know the full ramifications of it for probably some time.
yeah, I think if or when like the AI bubble bursts and that whale or that cash cow that they're relying on right now, goes away, they're gonna have to come back to their old consumer base that now despises them.
Yeah. They're like, how people always like, oh, don't ever go with this company. This company's shit type thing or whatever. And it's like, I feel like that's just what's going to happen to NVIDIA. It's like you went from, you're probably going to go from like one of like the people like, oh, NVIDIA is always good type thing to like, don't fucking even associate with them. It's like they're pieces of shit that left us to fucking rot.
I mean, it kind of happened with in the last couple of years with Intel and what's the other company, AMD, where a lot of people where Intel was really like overcharging for their processors, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do? And it's Intel is the market standard, and AMD was like, okay, well, here's a really good card that is a fraction of the price, works just as well, and you should totally buy it. A lot of people are like, cool, I'll buy this new thing.
Yeah, shit.
I
We'll
think
give it a chance.
I think recently now like AMD is slowly taking over Intel in the processor market.
And the thing is, for the example you just put out too, it's like the instant that like, what was it like? What did you say, like Intel or whatever it was, to like do their own RAM and stuff like that? Then it's sitting here going just like,
I think it was
or whatever,
I do not
whatever it
keep
was.
talking. I think it was Asus. Yeah,
Asus, that's what it was. If Asus all starts making RAM, and then all of these like tech people, PC makers or whatever, like they get their hands on it type thing, or Asus sends it to them. It's like, hey, put this in some of your into your gaming builds or whatever, and see what you think. Like don't feel like you got to do it one way or the other type thing, and stuff like that. And if they get glowing reviews, I'm like, people will look at it going like, well, shit, it's reviewing good, specs look decent, let's give it a shot. And then if word of mouth gets out, and all of a sudden they're now the new standard, and NVIDIA's left in the dust. Could happen.
In moments like this, the market can get shaken up really, really easily. A lot of these companies are really putting all their chips into the AI bucket. Like AMD's doing it. That's pretty much what Google's doing right now. That's what Microsoft's is doing. And at the same time, there's never been a bigger pushback against AI, I don't think. Like, like the Warhammer people came out recently and was like, they got a lot of good PR because they were like, we are not going to use AI in any aspect of our business now or ever. A lot of people are buying a lot of customer goodwill by saying like, yeah, we're just not going to use generative AI in any capacity.
Yeah.
So if or when this AI bubble bursts, all these companies that invest so heavily into their AI are going to be at such a giant loss, and they're just going to have so much consumer trust just out the window. If it does pop off and it works out for them, like, it's like, well, shit. I guess everything sucks now, and it's going to suck forever.
Yep. And then this is where we see the rise of the robots or whatever, and they just take over the world. But
Mm-hmm.
That's an inevitability.
You see, you're joking.
I know,
but that's
it is a legit concern. Like I say this jokingly, but it is a legit concern.
I was talking to Billy about this a while ago, where apparently, like, Amazon in the next 10 years is planning on replacing like 80% of its workforce by like with like robots and AI.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, if Amazon's planning on doing it, I'm willing to bet like a bunch of companies are planning on like replacing like a bunch of jobs. Hell, there are McDonald's that are operating right now with no employees inside, which is
crazy. And it's just like, people always think back and it's like, oh, the Great Depression was like a employment rate of like, what was it, like 30% at one point, if I'm not mistaken, which is like
I feel like it's
insane amount. And it's like, if Amazon all of a sudden said, oh, we're shrinking our our workforce by 80%, and then like pretty much every big company also did the same thing, employment rate would be like 50% at least. And you're sitting there going just like, that's even worse than the Great Depression. Like what? Like who's gonna have money to spend to get any of these things?
That's the thing. The economy is going to be
it's gonna tank
uber fucked.
Hard.
Yeah.
And this isn't just gonna be like, oh, the U.S. This will be the world.
The entire world is going to be affected. Everybody's going to be like underwater in the next 10 years, I think.
Yeah. It's, and the thing is like
video games.
And the thing is like, what was it? There was already like, I remember a while back there was like already, Congress people that were trying to like bring up the discussion of like, oh, AI and whether or not it, what should the government's role be in protecting, people's jobs and livelihoods, from losing their jobs to AI and stuff like that. And it's like, I think it's like we said last podcast or whatever. It's like, by the time that any government, not just the U.S., not just, European nation, whatever, doesn't matter type thing. By the time anyone feels like they're going to get on to like policing AI or anything like that, it's going to be too fucking late, because it pretty much already is.
At this point right now, what every nation should be doing is looking at what's going on and what like the possibility
this should be a main concern right now.
And deciding how things are going to work in the future, because if AI is really set up to take that many jobs, it sounds scary because it's a big change, but the government, and I mean any and every government,
the United Nations should just step in and just like, hey, this needs to happen for AI, and like we need to bring in a whole world conference to talk about that. Like, I don't think that enough, especially like the older, the old people that are in Congress or in parliamentary or whatever, most, governments around the world really truly understand what is going to take place with the rise of AI and stuff like that. And I really don't think they understand the concept. They really need to bring in like third-party experts to explain to them specifically and outline everything that could be a possible concern in the next 10 years, like now, and decide on it, because that is what's going to need to happen for it to not just spiral out of control.
Scary times we're living in, man.
Yeah.
I get it. Change is scary, but it's a scary times we're living in.
It's a necessary thing.
We've been seeing signs of recession for a while now, and I think everybody's just prepping for the inevitable at this point.
It's going to hit a tipping point where it's just like,
I don't think a lot of people really understand, no, it has never been this bad before. It's like the way the world worked before, it's not going to be that way ever again anymore. Unless AI by every government is heavily regulated and they just don't allow Amazon to do stuff like that, which I can't see that ever happening, to be honest.
Yeah. It's just like,
this is not the discussion I thought we were going to.
No, but it's a legit concern that they the thing is like this is like the kind of conversations that a lot of people don't always necessarily like to have or want to have, but it's like, it's a thing. You need to talk about it. You need to especially people who actually have power to do stuff about this need to understand this and stuff like that. Yeah, we're sitting over here complaining whether or not, gay people should have fucking rights. And I'm sitting here going just like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing? I don't know. It's wild times, but it's like, as much as people will try and prevent change, it's going to happen. and stuff like that. And for anyone that's saying, "Oh, well, you guys are over exaggerating," the government, the world isn't going to like crash. The economy's not going to crash. They've been talking all the time about recessions coming here or there, and it's still not here type thing. So everything's fine. And I'm like, no, it just means we haven't quite hit that tipping point yet. Trust me, when everyone in the 1920s thought that the world was only going to go up and up and up and up and up and up and up, they didn't think that in 10 years that everyone would lose their job and the economy would be in the tube. And you know the thing that brought it back? Do you know the thing that fucking brought the economy back? Yeah, a lot of people don't fucking realize it. It was World War fucking II. Because everyone because the American government and the American army needed guns, they needed planes to be made, they needed everything when it comes to war, and because of that stimulation of all of that war machine and everything like that came together, revived the economy, and we stopped World War II, and then all of a sudden we had a boom again.
Jesus Christ.
It's funny what you can learn from history, right? Mm-hmm. History is an interesting case because you can take what happened 100 years ago and compile it to today, and boy is it concerning because how applicable it is today. I don't know. That's something that's always something I always put out to it. It's like, oh, history's boring, and I'm like, yeah, if you get into the grits and grime and stuff like that, memorizing details, that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is knowing generally what the cause and effect of everything and stuff like that. 1920s, everything was in a boom, because of the whole credit cards were just existing. Everyone was buying stuff with credit and stuff like that, not realizing that they needed to pay back that credit. They were like, oh shit, I can't just use this plastic card to pay for this. I actually have to pay that back. Well, I don't got that money. That coupled with poor investments from banking and everything like that just crashed the entire market for almost a decade. Basically, it was just like shit was bad. It was bad. People lost jobs. People lost money. People lost families. People died just due to starvation and everything like that. And the government had no ability to do anything to fix anything like that. They did little jobs here or there, which helped a little bit, but it didn't really cause any change. It wasn't until World War II, where America finally got involved in it, that it was like, okay, now we need to start getting all this shit together and stuff like that. We need guns, we need ammunition, we need planes, we need stuff for our men over in the east or whatever. And I was just like, ugh. Yikes. Yep.
Damn.
Just saying, there is a world where we see World War III, and that's a scary thought.
I'm not sure I see a world that survives a World War III.
Oh, we don't. If the nuclear buildup that's been happening since the Cold War tells me anything, we're not. It's gonna we're closer to Fallout than we are seeing what the world's like after World War III, which is Fallout. Like, oh, if they wouldn't use nukes, I'm like, all it takes is one crazy person to do that. And considering the guy that's at the head of the U.S. government, that's the scariest part of it all. Anyways, what a great discussion, right?
Yep. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not really. I mean, that was kind of everything I had. And that was way more and way longer and way different than I thought it was going to go. It was good, though.
I agree. Yeah, it was good.
It was.
Man, we're at almost an hour and a half. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's always funny to me. It's always funny whenever I tell people I was like, oh, at one point I wanted to be a history teacher and I wanted to potentially work towards a doctorate in just history. And they were like, well, what would you do with that? And I go, I would analyze the cause and effects of current day with the history of the past, and just specifically when it came to the U.S. and everything like that. And it's crazy just how applicable 100 years ago, 150 years ago, 200 years ago is applicable to today. It's absolutely insane. This is why I always tell people, I was like, learning history when you're a kid is probably one of the most boring things ever type thing. But learning history as an adult, probably some of the most interesting and fascinating shit you're ever going to learn.
Dude, the number of history channels I'm subscribed to is fucking insane.
Yeah.
The ones going over alternate history, the ones like covering specific wars, I am all about that shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, the thing is that when it comes to it, it's like, in my personal opinion, history is taught wrong in schools. Is that they preach memorization and stuff from a book or whatever like that. That's not what history should be, especially not when we have technology the way it is. It's not, and everything like that. What it should be is that you should take it decade by decade and going forth and going through over the major things or whatever as well, but having them research what happened during that time and everything like that and correcting what they may or may not have wrong.
It should be about learning from the past rather than just learning the past.
Understanding cause and effect. That's the main thing history is always there for. This caused something. What was the response? How was it handled? And as a result of that, what did we learn? That is history in a nutshell. Everything can bottle down to just those 4 things. It's crazy. I could talk about this for literally hours. So
it's interesting though. Like, dude, just from wanting to learn history as an adult, I watched this one YouTube channel that convinced me to buy and read the complete like memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me, like kid Alex, that he would be so interested in just not just reading in general, because I hated reading as a kid.
Oh, same.
I don't know why, but if that he would be willing to read like a 500-page book just talking about like the experiences of Ulysses S. Grant, he would have said you're crazy. It's like, I'm not gonna be doing that shit. I'm gonna be like the head honcho of Halo 9. I'm gonna be king of the universe.
You're gonna be the game director of Halo 9.
I'm not gonna have time for
reading,
for stupid books. I'm gonna be the king of video games. Meh. Kid Alex was really cringe, but
what kid version of us isn't cringe though? Realistically,
I know. I hate thinking about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can.
Yeah, we can stop that discussion there if we want to, and probably call it an episode. Mm-hmm. So thank y'all so much for listening to this, which is far different path than we ever thought it would have, and stuff like that. We were just kind of just going, but it was good. So.
Can we title this podcast "The World is Fucking Burning Down"?
Just title it "The End of the World as We Know It."
Effectively. And we open the show with fucking, oh yeah, Deadpool Marvel Rivals and Highguard.
Hell yeah. People will be like, what the fuck is going on?
It's the end of the world.
Look, only you, the real listener that's still listening to us for some reason,
know why this episode is titled this way.
Exactly. This is our little secret. But anyway, thank you all really so much for watching, though. Truly, you are truly the real one, though. And if you haven't already, subscribed to the podcast and anything else that may or may not be doing with this, so. Leave a review or anything like that, and just say the world is burning. In that you could put 5 stars. The world is burning. There you go.
5 stars. Everything sucks. We're all gonna die one day.
Yep.
Hey, but we still have some time left. You can listen to this cool ass podcast by these 2 cool guys.
While the world's burning behind you, you can just listen to this and you go, man, they were just so right. It's crazy. Man, I really wish I had food. Dude, let me go get that gray sludge from Mickey D's.
Uh, Mickey D's went from pink sludge to real meat, back to sludge, but this time it's gray sludge.
Dude, no, they colored it pink this time, so it looks like meat, but it's not actually meat because we ran out of meat a long time ago. And for those aliens that are listening to this as well, shit.
Boop doop de doop. Go find intelligent life somewhere else because it's sure as hell not here.
Anyway, bye bye. What the fuck? I don't know what happened there, but it just that just popped in my head, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go with it. Let's roll with it.